this is the Aqua Daydreams Mega Journal Kit. And I have already, let me pull it all off the tray. I have already cut everything out and scored the ones that need to be folded. Got them ready. So, here's the folio. Here's all the little extra pieces. Here's our cover. I printed the cover on cardstock. And then these are our pages. And I did print a couple of extra pages. Printed that one twice. And then these sheets, these are some extra sheets that I'll use for some extra pages and maybe some collaging. These are from the Aqua collage paper set. So they coordinate with this Aqua Daydreams journal kit, this mega journal kit. So I've already done that. I printed those, printed and cut everything out. For my cover, I did cut it out, but for my pages, my internal pages, I tore these because I just like a torn edge better than a cut edge, and you'll see that they're not perfect, but that's why I did it. I did it using a metal ruler, just, you know, laid my ruler down and ripped it up. So then I also gathered up some other pieces to go along with it that I had. I almost always use a couple of, at least one book page. This is an old dictionary. It's old and it looks old and it's thin, but it's not quite brittle, so it works really well for tearing and collaging. I have this little piece of cardboard from a cracker box with a hole in it that I might use. I've got just a piece of cardstock. I've got an old, I don't even know what that is. Well, I don't even know what you call it, but I might use that. Have one of my paper dolls, my little angel women, a couple of little pieces of ephemera scraps that kind of coordinate with some of the colors. Stamp, little quality time piece I tore it out of a magazine somewhere. And then I have some white pom-poms, because even though it's going to have a little bit of a vintage feel to it when I put all this together, and I will probably be inking, I've got my ink out, I will probably be inking the edges of most of it. I still wanted a little bit of a whimsical feel to it, which is why I pulled in my angel lady and some pom-poms, some little white pom-pom trim, so I'll be using that as well. I have a whole bunch of these for some reason. This is going to be a label, either on the inside of the book that says, or inside of the journal that says this is Mindy's journal, or somewhere, but I've got a bunch of them, so I'll be using that as well. So now I will start the assembly process, and after I have got it assembled, we will come back to the video and show you the finished product and do a flip through from start to finish. All right, let's look at the Aqua Daydreams finished journal, or almost finished journal. As I mentioned in a previous video, these are the pieces that were left over, some of the pieces of ephemera and little scraps that were left over. And there's the ink that I used on some pieces. This I will keep just because I say this is finished, but I may decide to add something to it later. So I will hold on to this little envelope full of scraps for a little while until I decide for sure that this is in fact a finished product, and then I will restock these scraps. But let's look at what we have here. I did tape my spine with, it's just some regular book tape. It's very sturdy, very strong. It does have a little sheen to it, but I don't mind that on most things, and I certainly didn't mind it on this project. Sometimes I will take, I will camouflage the shininess sometimes, but it didn't bother me on this one, so I left it. But I did that because I assembled, let me make this tray out of the way. I assembled this one with staples instead of sewing the signature. So I wanted to make sure that those staples, even though I, you know, squeezed them down real flat and made sure they weren't sticking up, I wanted to make sure they didn't catch on anything, so the tape served to do that. So let's open it up. As you can see, I did incorporate the pom-poms that I had out here. I just thought that was a fun little way to add an edge to it. We've got a little place there to write whose journal it is. The cover was printed two-sided on cardstock. Actually, no, it was, I printed the cover on cardstock, and then I glued another sheet, another one of the inner pages to the inside of the cover. So it's a piece of cardstock and a piece of copy paper glued together. The internal pages are just copy paper, and in this one I only glued the edges together. So we've got this little tuck spot in there. There's a journal card and a tag that I stuck down in there. Here we have one of the little tuck pots that came with the Ephemera kit, and one of the little, this actually, I tore this by accident when I was cutting it, so it's a little shorter than it shows up in the Ephemera pack, but it actually worked well because then the ribbon doesn't stick out quite so far. This page has a little strip of just regular masking tape on it, and the reason for that is because this is the side. I showed you this in the beginning of the video. That's how I fastened that little fold spot, was with masking tape on both sides, and a little bit of ink on that masking tape, and you can barely see it. And what you can see, it doesn't bother me. I don't mind it. A little bit of a collage on this paper, and the ink that I just had out here that I showed you is the ink that I did on this, because this was just the other side of the printed page of regular copy paper. So I just wanted to add a little color to that. So I inked that up a little bit with that aqua ink, as well as some of the brown ink that I did around the edges. Here is our folio. Haven't decided if or what kind of closure I will put on this one. This one just has two little tuck spots in it. This is just a little prayer card that I had laying around. There's one of the bookmarks from the Ephemera. There's another one of the tags from the Ephemera, and this is another little journal scripture card that I had laying around that I stuck in there. And these go into, I just slide those into the little belly band that came with the Ephemera kit. And there we have it. Another page, lined pages, lots of. This is one page, one thickness of a copy paper. This one's two, because I did glue them together just so there wouldn't be a white page in between. More journal pages in this little tuck spot, or journal cards rather, in that tuck spot. And then here we have, I showed you the cracker box piece that I had that had the window in it. I just loved that window, so I just covered the cracker box with the sheet of book page that I had laid out. So when you stick the gift tag or the envelope, whatever you stick in there, you can see it through there. So this came with the Ephemera pack, so it just sticks down in that little envelope, and can go right in there. This was one of the extra sheets that I had printed from the one of the scrapbook packs that I have in my shop. I just thought that gave it a nice kind of, I don't know, I just like it. I like I painted that years ago, and I'd never used that piece of paper before until I digitized it and put it in that pack. And it looks really good. It fit nice in this piece. A little collaging there, a little collaging here. Use the little pieces of ephemera that look like little picture frames almost, and put some comments in there, some little words in there. Singing in the rain, keep life simple, believe in yourself, and that's opposite of quality time. So I thought that fit nicely. This page is not completely tied together, or I glued together. I glued the edges together, and then I glued the flap of an envelope down in there. You can see where the flap is down in there. And then that gives me a tuck spot on this side, and it also gives me a tuck spot on this side. And these were just some prayer cards that I had laying around that I wanted to tuck in that envelope. A little collaging here on both sides using some of the pieces from the ephemera, and then some of the scrap pieces that I showed you I had gathered. More collaging here. I survived another meeting. Should have been an email. I've got a good heart, but this mouth today was going to be great until people, and if it requires pants or a bra, it's not happening today. And I've had a day like that today, as a matter of fact. Plenty of room to write. I just put a little ribbon paper clip there that holds this prayer card that I had laying around, and my other envelope. I don't think I put anything in this envelope yet. I haven't, but it's here in case I want to put something in it. And then another little collage area here. This is says one of us is right, the other one is you. These were two pieces of copy paper that were glued together, so it's a little thicker for writing on, but it also keeps that white piece from being in the middle. And then here's my little angel lady that I showed you. I told you I was going to incorporate her in here somehow. I put her on the edge of this page, and then I decided to just kind of cut her out. So there's an interesting little edge there to her, and I like that. She sticks out just a little bit at the top, tiny bit at the bottom, tiny bit on the side, just adds a little interest. So there's our little lady, another little collage here, little tuck spot there that I made with one of the cards from the kit. And then this was a bookmark that I just had laying around, so I just stuck it in there. It matched and coordinated and thought it looked great. And then of course pom-poms on the back side as well. Then I used a piece of the ephemera to fasten the, this is just a piece of elastic. You can buy it in a big spool at the craft store. So the ends of it are fastened together, tied together very tightly, and then this is glued down, and there is the journal fastened. So that is, what am I doing here? Oh, I got a pom-pom called. I was a little worried about that, and I'm not 100% sure that this is the closure that I'll stick with, but it's the closure I have on there for now. So some of the ribbon and tag string sticks out. I like that. I like that look. And there we go. There we have it. Hope you like it. Hope you enjoy making your own.